Today I am going to be featuring an Australian classic. G'day my lovelies, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if this is your first time here. I'm Kathy, and today I'm going to be featuring an Australian classic which I don't know if people have heard of or not. I guess I will find out. And that movie is Picnic at Hanging Rock. I know that there is a television series that recently came out, but I'm talking about the film which was released in 1975 and was directed by Peter Weir. Weir has also directed certain other films which you might have heard of, such as Dead Poets Society, Witness, and Gallipoli, another Australian classic. The film stars Helen Mirren, Jackie Weaver, who has recently had a resurgence in popularity in film, Rachel Roberts, Vivian Grey, a very young John Jarratt, who people may remember from Wolf Creek, the creepy killer, and Anne-Louise Lambert as Miranda. The film is actually based on a book by Joan Lindsay, who stated that she wrote the book after a lucid dream. There is still ongoing debate and speculation as to whether the book is based on true events or not, but as far as I have been able to ascertain, there is no evidence to suggest that it is based on a true story. Hanging Rock is an actual place in Victoria. I think it's about an hour's drive out of Melbourne. It is a geological formation that is over 6 million years old. It was formed by volcanic magma that vented and then congealed in position. I've actually never been there, but I've always wanted to go, and I think I'm going to take a trip out there sometime this year. It also has special significance to the traditional owners of Australia, the Aborigines. But today it is used for concerts and markets and things like that. It is a beautiful and very striking rock formation, but that's not surprising. We have quite a few of those in Australia. The film itself takes place in 1900, the turn of the century. On Valentine's Day, a group of schoolgirls from a nearby boarding school are going on a picnic to Hanging Rock with several of their teachers. What happens at the rock is really the crux of the story. I don't want to say too much more about what occurs at the rock in case you haven't heard of this film. What I will say is that the film deals with what happens at the rock, as well as the after effects felt by the people involved and the small town close to Hanging Rock. If you are expecting a neat resolution, you're going to be disappointed. There isn't one. In essence, the film is a mystery as to what occurred at Hanging Rock on this picnic on Valentine's Day. There are other subplots that are interwoven into the story, but I really don't think that the plot is as important as the atmosphere. It is so beautifully shot. I am partial to the Australian landscape, I won't deny it, and Weir did a magnificent job at capturing the majesty, the timelessness, the primeval essence of this land. And he was so good at choosing the right music to accompany his visuals that it feels like you are in a dream. There is this sense of time standing still, which I guess is not surprising considering how old Australia is. In addition to the beautiful scenic shots is the score. I absolutely loved the pan flute that I can't hear without always remembering this film. I have seen people criticizing it, disliking it, but in my opinion, the film would have been something entirely different without it. The score, together with the beautiful scenic shots, together with the costumes and the understated acting, all put you in some kind of trance, some kind of dreamlike state, very similar to what the characters go through. Now, the film, I think, hints at several themes, such as sexual repression as well as sexual awakening. There is also the divide between the English settlers and this timeless land. There is also a hint of class distinctions. I think another theme of the film is how confining some of the strict conventions or discipline that was expected of young women at the turn of the century can be, and how perhaps some of the characters were seeking a way out. Ultimately, the story is a mystery, one that I don't think we can ever unravel satisfactorily. I honestly don't think so. But that is not what the film is about. It is about feeling like you have stepped back in time, or that time itself has stopped. We did such a brilliant job at capturing how alive the bush is, with blizzards and the insects and the birds in flight. And then you have the people who fall asleep to the song of the birds or nature itself. There is this sense of this is a place that time forgot, and the people at the rock are intruders to this place. The film has this haunting, mystical aspect to it. We don't know what is real, what isn't. There is a sense of menace coming from the rocks, something ancient and supernatural perhaps. I think it is left up to us to decide, is this rock actually alive? Is it supernatural, or is it simply a rock formation? I have also heard the film described as a horror film without any bloodshed or killing. I don't know if I would agree with that, but I will point out that once we leave the rock, the story changes gears. The pace and tone of the film changes gears as well, as we see how the townspeople and the others from the school deal with the mystery of what happened at the rock. The biggest impact the film has, I think, is with the visuals. But that is not to say that the acting lets it down, because it doesn't. Special mention has to go to Rachel Roberts, the very strict martinet of a headmistress. Watching her slowly unravel is actually quite fascinating. I also have to mention Anne-Louise Lambert as Miranda. She has this ethereal quality in the film, this charismatic, ethereal innocence that is compelling. I can understand why they chose her to play Miranda. I don't think that this film has dated. Having seen it again after many, many years, it still makes quite an impact. It is definitely still haunting. You do wonder what happened at that rock. You cannot help but try to unravel the mystery of it. I have also recently seen the TV series, which is quite different, and I don't think it has as much impact as the film does. Perhaps if you have seen both, you have a differing opinion. I would be very interested to hear your opinions. I do think that the TV series was very well done. It fleshed out the characters more. We got to hear more backstory. Visually, it was beautifully shot, but I really disliked the score that they used. I thought the music let it down quite a bit, but the acting was excellent in that as well. Not everyone may like this film because it doesn't have a resolution, but in my opinion, I think if the mystery had been resolved, it might have made this film a lot less than it is. I highly recommend Picnic at Hanging Rock if you haven't seen it. If you have, I would love to hear your opinions on it, and you can put it down in the comments or you can contact me on Instagram. Thank you very much for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed this review of one of my favourite Australian films. And if you did, you can do the usual thing. You can like, comment and subscribe. I hope you all have a beautiful day, and I will see you next time. Bye.